Ever been in a conversation where everything said is perfectly polite, but your gut is screaming that something is completely off? That feeling comes from a statistical reality. The words we speak actually make up a small fraction of the messages we transmit to each other. While your conscious mind is carefully curating your vocabulary and tone, your unconscious mind is simultaneously pulling the levers of your physical body. When those two systems fall out of sync, it creates what psychologists call the authenticity gap. This is the friction that occurs when a person's involuntary physical signals bypass their internal filter and directly contradict what they are intentionally saying. To accurately interpret human behavior and true intentions, we have to learn how to temporarily tune out the spoken word and focus on the involuntary physical signals leaking the truth. The most concentrated area for these involuntary signals is the human face, specifically through a psychological phenomenon known as micro-expressions. These are brief, involuntary flashes of true emotion. They appear and vanish in a fraction of a second, long before the conscious brain has the processing time required to recognize and suppress them. Psychological studies confirm these rapid facial flashes are not localized cultural habits. They are hardwired, universal reactions found across the entire human species. We can see exactly how this works under the stress of deception by looking at this psychological research document. As noted in the green highlighted insight box, when people lie, they attempt to control their mouths, but their eyes and posture frequently leak the truth. The reason for this boils down to cognitive load. Because a deceptive person is actively constructing a fake verbal narrative, the physical mouth demands the vast majority of their conscious effort. With the brain heavily taxed by managing the mouth, the eyes are left unguarded. They become the primary vulnerability, serving as the main escape route for the genuine emotions the person is trying to suppress. Because these micro-expressions bypass conscious control, a person's true emotional intentions are broadcasted first through their eyes, often defeating the verbal lie before it's even finished. If the face provides the micro-level data, the rest of the body provides the macro footprint. This operates on the principle of personal space. A person's baseline internal comfort level directly dictates how much physical room they are willing to occupy in any given environment. Look at the anatomical mechanics of a closed posture. When someone shrinks their center of mass, crosses their arms, and hunches their shoulders, they are physically constructing a wall between themselves and the room. This retracted physical footprint is a direct physiological response to a psychological state. It indicates defensiveness, anxiety, or internal discomfort. Conversely, an open posture achieves a different result. By uncrossing the limbs and exposing the torso, the body physically signals a state of receptivity and internal confidence. Regardless of the words being spoken, physical posture acts as a real-time barometer of a person's internal defensive state. Analyzing nonverbal cues often gets mistaken for mind reading or a psychological parlor trick. In practice, it is the systematic observation of established behavioral patterns. Decoding the behavior of other people is only the first step. The ultimate goal of this science is mastering our own unconscious physical output. This requires what psychologists call alignment. Alignment is the conscious effort to ensure that our physical cues match our intended verbal message. For example, if you enter a critical conversation and consciously deploy an open, unshielded posture, you force your body to project genuine receptivity to the person you are speaking with. Closing the authenticity gap synchronizes our spoken words with our physical signals. This alignment removes the subtle friction of a mixed message, fostering genuine connection and strengthening our social influence.